Hey, you know how I start off every episode with a funny little joke?
Yes.
Big twist.
Okay.
Not doing one this episode.
Welcome to the island.
Because there's nothing funny about this thing?
No, it's because they've got the dumbest twist of all time.
Listen, hi, Brandon here.
Guys, welcome to Bottle Episodes.
It's a podcast where we watch a bad TV show. We watch the pilot and we watch the highest rated episode to determine if it ever got better.
Maybe it would have worked as an album.
I'm Daniel Crow.
I'm David Piccolomini, and
We
this
have a
week,
guest who you've already heard.
friend of the pod, six-timer.
Yeah. Once I get my 10, I get a little plaque.
For 10th, we make you watch Ren and Stimpy's Adult Party.
Oh, that's a
cartoon.
nightmare. That's the only thing. This was the worst thing I think you all made me watch.
That's so funny.
This is, I think.
Well, let's go over all of them.
Oh, okay. So it starts with Oops, which I found charming in the end. Like, it's not good, but like they were trying.
Tomes and Talismans?
Tomes, I love Tomes and Talismans.
Earnestly. Yeah.
I
Top 5 show for
love
you?
Tomes and Talismans.
You're a Tome head.
I'm doing
He's a talisman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'm doing a thing where I'm going to go see Fish perform, and I'm giving out Uno cards, but all the Uno cards have QR codes on them that you can go to weird videos, and one of them, just Tomes and Talisman.
Nice.
Just so weird. That's how much I love Tomes and Talisman. And then after Tomes and Talisman...
Warren Buffett's Secret Millionaires Club?
Okay, that one is just above this one. I hated that one.
That one was really bad.
That one's really bad. But like that one's the type of bad where like I could see having to watch it during a class, and that's something.
And then we got the Little Shop.
I didn't hate Little Shop. It's fine. It's charming.
Slippin' Jimmy?
Slippin' Jimmy's okay. Slippin' Jimmy's bad, but like at least there's like I could point at the screen and go, I understood that reference, and that's not nothing.
Learn to read?
Nicest.
Okay, you read a word, so
Dude,
it taught you something.
Live sports, dude. I'm reading now.
And now,
So it worked.
And
Yeah,
now-
it's worked.
the I-Land.
Jesus. I don't know if Dave's going to post this. I asked Dave to post this picture. It's a picture of me having to watch it because I couldn't. So I had to. Dave was like, "Hey, can we go catch a ball game?" Because I work at a minor league ballpark, and I was like, "Of course." And hey, can we hang out and do a podcast afterwards? Yeah, I love doing that. Okay, what do you want me to watch? It's The Island. It's only on Netflix, and I can only watch The Island on Netflix from my wife's iPad.
Why?
Because we don't actually have Netflix, so they don't track where that is, so we're using someone else's Netflix to watch it.
Okay.
But the iPad didn't have any power to it, so I had to charge it while watching it after this whole ball game that I had to work, and then I had to watch it, and it was like I was in a hostage situation. It was one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had.
Imagine being on the island.
I was going to say, much like the people on the island.
But better. I feel like I acted better than they were bad, right? Like I'm not great at telling bad acting, but this acting was terrible.
Yeah, no.
I
they
think-
were too bad to be on a professional television show.
I also think, though, the writing and the plot and like the character decisions were so bad that like trying to make those believable will make you look like a worse actor.
They were
Yeah.
also too hot. Does that make sense?
Well, it's
Like-
a tropical island. The temperature is...
No, but like all of them were too I needed some people who look kind of weird.
Okay, we're going to spoil this show, frankly, for people's own sake.
Yeah, honestly, what's funny is you're going to spoil it a little bit for me because I watched the first episode,
And the fifth?
the fifth episode, and nothing else.
That's smart.
I read the Wikipedia synopsises. So.
That's not true. I also did watch Good Bad Flicks by another guy named Brandon. He does stuff on weird TV, but I watched like half of his thing where he just talked about the he just talked about the first episode too,
Yeah.
and he was like, and I had to know if I was in a bad mood or if it was as bad as I thought it was. Because actually, I'm gonna surprise here. I think people should see this episode.
The first one?
Yeah, it's sort of a seeing is believing.
It is like if someone AI generated the Lost pilot.
Yes, and made it. Yes,
It was almost
done.
certainly pitched to Netflix like, this is going to be your Lost.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's also like
It's weird to have that happen in 2019.
Yeah.
It's also like they pitched it at Netflix and went, "This is going to be your Lost," and then someone went, "Okay, cool, we'll take it." And then they forgot to do their homework, and we're just like, "I don't know, just say something."
No, you misunderstood, Netflix. I said this is going to be your loss. You're going to lose money on this.
Yeah,
They lose money on every show. They have a bad business plan.
So on this show, the first thing we see is the most 2016 blue skies drama that you can imagine. We are on an island. The water is aqua. The island is emerald. We are moving up, and we come across a woman who is passed out on the beach.
Does not know who she is.
She
has
doesn't
no
know.
memories of who she is, what she's done, and she runs into another woman.
No, stop, David.
Okay.
Stop. I am furious with you. She wakes up and she goes, "Is anyone here? Is anyone here?" And then she finds a conch shell
Yeah.
and blows into it.
When she blows into it, it's no louder than her yelling.
And also, she just immediately is like, "Well, I have a conch shell." And we are to believe that she has lost all her memory, but knows how to blow into a conch shell immediately.
It's called human instinct.
You know how you've seen one conch shell.
Yeah.
You've looked at it, you're
No,
like, you
here's
can
the
blow
thing.
into it.
She's seen one conch shell, and then you've seen them all? No, she's seen one.
It is like a lot of work to use a conch shell. Like that is like, it takes a skill
They
set.
forgot their lives. They haven't forgot what objects are because another one has a knife and she knows it's a knife.
Yes.
And
Okay,
they know
so
it's threatening.
Well, sure, but I'm saying like
I
with
feel
a
like
knife,
is easier to
you
use
know how
than
to
a conch
stab,
shell.
but
Yeah.
like a conch shell, actually, you have to hold it a certain way. You have to like get it, like you have to. It's like a trumpet. You have to get the lip. You have to get the seal correctly.
I wish
It's like
she
a
had-
skill set.
I wish she had yelled in and gone, Ricola.
Babies know how to stab. Everybody knows how to stab.
Go on about babies knowing how to stab.
They
Yeah.
do. Baby,
What?
you give a baby a knife, he'll stab you.
How like it's like a 6-month-old? Is it a tiny knife, or are they like picking up like if
How
you
old is
hand
this
it-
kid?
Yeah, the knife doesn't have to be. You don't want the knife to be
How
bigger
old is
than
the
kid,
baby
'cause
though?
that's
How old is the
unsafe.
baby?
I think a 1-year-old could stab you.
I could beat a 1-year-old with a knife in a fight.
You think if a 1-year-old had a knife?
Yeah, I would kick. I would.
Wait, do
I'd
you
beat
have a
him up.
knife in this situation?
Yes.
Okay, no, then it's a fair fight.
Oh, yeah, no, no,
that's-
Well, I think I could still beat him up without a knife.
But wait, there's a 1-year-old has a knife?
you're gonna
so
get cut.
You know he has a knife.
Yes, obviously.
He could
But
be hiding it.
I do peekaboo. He's like, he's gone. And so he's like, okay, the threat has been neutralized.
No
And
longer.
that's when I grab the knife.
You gotta be careful grabbing a knife. They're sharp.
Yeah, I like the idea that you would just grab the knife by the knife blade. A little one.
So yeah, I would win.
I have an 80%.
I think it'd be tougher than you think, though. I think.
Bring me a baby with a knife right now.
Let's
do this.
I have an 80% belief that you would win. Like it's
Thank
not
you.
a full 100, but it's up there. Like you're high.
I could just like kick it as well.
But it has a knife, so even if you get close,
I'm
it's
quicker. I get behind it.
You can't. Well, okay,
You're gonna
that's fair.
out.
It's barely
You're gonna
walkable.
flank this baby.
Oh, also I could throw things at it. It can't throw.
So brunette.
So I get like a dodgeball. Dude, that thing is out if I hit it with a dodgeball.
I love the idea of you just missing with the dodgeball and going to pick it up while the baby
I'm
slowly
gonna
crawls
have
at
a
you.
couple dodgeballs ready.
But you keep missing with dodgeballs to this baby as it crawls at you with a
Guys,
knife.
we got it. We
Then you walk
gotta
back.
talk about this fucking show. I hate to be the bearer of bad
Okay,
news.
so Natalie Martinez, who plays
Uh-huh.
Chase,
Yep.
she wakes up on the island.
Yep.
No idea what's going on. She
Nope.
runs into Kate Bosworth, who plays KC.
Who I thought was a professional actress.
That was incredible how bad she was.
Jesus Christ.
I
Kate.
was
I hadn't seen her in a few years, and I figured she just made her money and was living a nice, quiet life. Turns out she had gotten the yips, which I didn't know could happen in acting.
Well, it's an unknown writer for this show.
Literally, their only credit on IMDb is this show, the creator.
Neil LaBute?
No, Neil LaBute's the showrunner. Someone
okay.
else created it.
I was going to say the writer is Neil LaBute, and that is heartbreaking. Today at lunch, I had to rewatch Bash, and I was like, no, he knows how to write. like,
You had to watch something else?
I had to watch something else that he did and have to go, oh.
So there was another creator who I guess he found their script and tried to fix it up.
I don't, there's just, so she comes across a woman, and
Kate Bosworth with
Kate
the
Bosworth.
worst Southern accent I have ever heard. I was saying this to David on the drive over here. She sounds like when SpongeBob and Patrick are mocking Sandy.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not kidding when I said I didn't realize she was trying to do a Southern accent until the 5th episode where she wears a cowboy hat. Like she wore a cowboy hat, and I was like, oh, okay, she's Southern.
Like-
And I didn't get it.
It did take me out of it because I had to figure out it was her.
I thought she was
I had to
British. I
figure
thought
out-
she was British.
No, everyone from the show is Texan.
Like, oh, God.
You see their flashbacks; they're all supposed to be Texan.
That actually makes a lot of sense considering what we know about the show. We could just spoil the show.
All right, look.
I love taking them on a journey. I want the people here to deal with the hostage
because
situation that I
want them
dealt
to have
with.
an authentic experience for the show, because this is a show that sets up a central mystery and then tells you what it is 3 episodes in.
I also want people to have a better time with this podcast than the show. Like I want them to come here instead of the show. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
So that's why we're spoiling it.
Yeah, but we'll get to the spoil. You got to build
Okay,
it.
okay, all right, all right,
We're
all right.
romancing the audience.
Because it does. It's one of those things where when I find out like the first twist, there are several twists, by the way, in this show.
It's only twists.
It's only twists.
It's only twists. And I
Weirdly
wanna
enough,
shout.
no turns.
Yeah.
There are all these twists, and then the story just keeps being the same.
That
These
is-
are annoying twists that only serve to frustrate you, like that game at a carnival where you have to navigate the circle around the twisty metal bar. And
That
you
is
can't do
exactly.
it. Yeah. Brandon looks like he's never seen this game.
No, I've seen it. I just, last time I was here at
We are
work-
recording this at your place, by the way.
Yes, I'm
You
recording.
mean the
it at my-
podcast?
The last time I was on this podcast, I had to watch a video where someone like slowly tried to spell at me,
It was a whole show, by the way. It wasn't
like
just a
for
video.
like a good 10, 15 minutes, and that was like a more proud. And I watched that at work. With
Where
like
people could see
people
you.
could see me, and
And
that was
like Brandon, people know you have trouble spelling things.
Yeah,
so like
I
they
know.
did. They're
I
like,
know,
is Brandon
Dan. Yeah.
trying to improve himself right
Yeah.
now?
and that was a
Good for
more
him.
that was a less bad experience than watching this alone in my kitchen. Like I've never hated something more. There's a scene that happens early on. So the two ladies meet, and the one lady goes, she's like trying to get information, but the redheaded lady is very aggressive for no clear reason and not in a way that makes any damn sense.
Yeah, Kate Bosworth's character is just like, I have a knife.
Yeah.
And she's like, we got a knife and a conch shell.
And-
she's like, no. I have a knife.
She goes, we have two things, and that's not what she says.
yeah.
Though she's the brunette lady goes, we have two things, and she goes, I don't know you. I have a thing, and you have a thing, which is such a like what is this TV show? I hate it. Like
It's a reverse Sesame Street. They're teaching you not to share.
But it is just a weird like, okay, so you're trapped on a desert island. The first thing to do is be pedantically hateful to each other.
And also there's a scene, and I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, where the same lady goes, so no, this isn't adding up. And she goes, this isn't adding up. But she doesn't know to put the annoying voice on, because you should go, Dave, I need you to say this isn't adding up.
This isn't adding up.
This isn't adding up. You have to like do that. But instead, what she does, Dave, I need you to say it one more
This
time.
isn't adding up.
This isn't adding up. She just says it back. Like what is this show? I hate it so much.
So they find like 10 people alone on this island. They've all woken up.
Yep.
Yep.
Then they meet up.
Yep.
And then they all determine that they all have tags with their names on them on their shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, they have like a meeting where they all go, you don't know anything that's going on? And they're like, wait, we have names. Great. Nailed it for the day.
That is something that a lady who is a sunbathing woman who will be important in Act 2 goes, we figured out our names. isn't that enough for today? Which is, no, it's not. You're on an island.
You're on it. Where do you think? What do you think's going to happen to food slowly? Also, that was okay. I guess that's the next scene. They're going to go off into the half the people just start lounging on the beach.
That would be me, 100%.
You'd not even worried about finding food, shelter. Just let's chill.
Let me die.
It really
Chill or die.
Also, they're on the edge of a beach. There could be stuff momentarily inside the island.
Which there is. There is stuff very near to them.
Yeah. Well, and I don't. Okay, I don't. I'm gonna wait. Like, I need someone to point to me when it's time to reveal the big twist at the big moment in the. God, I hate this show.
Just do it now. Who cares?
Okay, so so first thing, there's this moment where two people who are the nerds, I guess, are talking to each other.
Yeah.
And the nerds are like, I don't like that they're all hitting on each other. It's the normal thing that people do when they're all just sexual attention and stuff. And I'm like, you are on an island. You are on an island. There is a scene with the guy and the brunette lady also by a waterfall. Do we need to talk about that?
We have to. No, that's
weird
next.
Bummer
That's
of
next.
a scene.
That's next.
That bummer. Like that was the moment I was like, oh, I don't even ironically like this.
So yeah, this scene. I don't even remember that dude's name.
It's some guy, Hunk 7. Who cares?
But he's like the worst guy. So they
just the worst.
They're going off to explore.
I liked him.
Well, let's talk about what he did for the episode.
Wait, did he do something? I stopped watching 5 minutes in. Did he do something?
Yeah, I stopped watching for a couple of minutes, went to the bathroom, walked back, and he was really telling that brunette lady that she needed to calm down.
Yeah, she was acting pretty irrational too. So it's pretty good that he was there to calm her down.
Hey, I know that you guys are real tough, and like you all are, like, we're all comedians. I'm part of it. Yeah, I'm gonna put a warning here. We got to talk about SA stuff. Like, we got to talk about sexual assault for fucking no reason. It sucks. It sucks.
So what happens?
There is a reason. That's because some guy wrote this for his screenwriting 101 class, and he thought he was being edgy, and somehow it got on the desk of a Netflix development executive.
I would like to make this. It's not some guy. It's Neil LaBute.
Neil LaBute did not write this. Someone else created it, and somehow Neil LaBute was added as showrunner and director.
No, Neil LaBute added that scene. I've seen Neil LaBute. He's done that. I've worked with his work.
You think he added that himself?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Men Are Pigs is a Neil LaBute thing. The thing where it's like there is no. I hate even saying it. There is no sexual assault out here. It's just sex or no sex. I was like, Neil LaBute, you're right that you're fucking stuff.
Let's explain what's happening.
Okay. You explain it.
So they go to the Chase and the dude, the shittiest dude of the group,
Neil LaBute,
are going to. They find a waterfall.
Also, Neil LaBute, come on the pod.
Sure. He is. They go to the waterfall. They're like, we got fresh water, and then they point off screen and go, we got fresh food.
I think the implication is that there are fish in this little grotto.
Sure. They do not explain what food. They're all eating grocery store bananas.
Well,
and then they go, well, since we're here, do you want to just make out? And they just start. They're like,
well, no. He says they're not going to tell anybody about it. It's going to be their little secret.
Well, no. Casually, is that before they start making out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
even she's like, why?
Who cares?
And then they make out a little bit because they're both hot. And like, yeah, that's fine. Make out a little bit.
Yeah, that's totally but and then she goes, hey, we probably shouldn't fuck on this island where we just met each other. Let's chill. And he goes, just kidding. I'm going to assault you and try.
He doesn't succeed. He is bad at it.
That's okay.
I don't know if he's even bad at it.
I would prefer in movies and television for people to be bad rapists. I guess I don't want anyone to actually get raped.
That's good. I will say she's like spy coded, right? Or did I misread that?
No, she has weird military abilities.
Yeah,
but for no reason. They give us her backstory later. I don't see why she would have these.
Dude,
abilities.
I watched 2 episodes of this and then I fucking quit. I don't know what do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, you're the guest. It's fine. Well, that's allowed.
Maybe episode 7 was the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. I'll never know.
Maybe.
I doubt it. Because they have to build off where episode 5 ends.
I wanted to like this.
Why?
Did you?
Why did you want to like this?
I wanted so I have this challenge in my head. and I do this challenge a lot, and it's actually really fun, is because I come across a lot of bad media and a lot of media I don't like,
Mhm.
and then I ask myself, how would I like this media? Like, in what format would I like this media? And like a lot of times you're like, well, this isn't a great like book, let's say, but like it would be a really fun like 1996 PC game, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or like whatever. And then you like think of that, and then you put on I'm stealing this from Tim Rogers, but you're putting on your good time hat. Like you're figuring out what you like, you're figuring out how to have a good time. And like screw it, you're there, you might as well have a good time.
And this you could not
Wait,
find any.
You could play Myst
Yeah.
instead of watching this.
You could do, but like, what if this was missed? Because this could like.
I see what you're saying. This could be missed.
Have you ever seen Escape Room?
And
the
escape
movie?
Oh no.
I've seen both Escape Room and Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
Me too. Saw them both in theaters. And they are not good. But like, you put on your good time. I love
They're fun.
finding stuff out. What is this scroll? What does this scroll mean? Like I love that thing. I love a Lost. I love a thing that asks questions and gives answers. But like this just seemed to not want to be that while actively being that. There's a scene which I don't want to skip over where the woman who is sunbathing finds a book and it's called Mysterious
Oh, God,
Island,
yeah.
and she throws it in the ocean.
Yeah. They've been there like 2 hours.
Imagine finding a book called Mysterious Island while you've landed on a mysterious island and not even thinking to read it.
Not
Can
even
I just-
thinking,
you know
there
what,
are
you-
other people there that you could just go, hey, I'm not going to read this. Would someone else like to?
Hey, who's the nerds who figured out this weird 39-step thing?
Can I just say-
39-step thing? Go fuck
Can I just say how much better every episode of Twilight Zone would be if someone found a book called Metaphors for Communism and just threw it away?
It just says exactly what's going to happen
Yeah.
in the episode.
So yeah, you're all scared at each other, and that's why you're attacking each other.
Yeah.
We actually don't have to attack you at all. The end. You're
But can I-
dolls.
so-
That's-
I wonder if that book just had the rules for like, congratulations, you're in a prison colony. Like,
Well, they need to send people in later to explain to them what the rules are. Yeah, David, you just spoiled the twist, by the way. They're in a VR prison colony. They're all murderers.
yeah.
So
So they're wondering like if it's nature versus nurture.
you find that out in the third episode.
we got
Yeah, that's too early for a twist in a show that's all about the mystery and the twist. It's like if someone was doing a card trick and very early in the card trick was like, this is your card. And then they shuffled for 4 minutes. That's what this show is.
But also think of this is your card, and they're very bad at shuffling. It's not even like, wow, they're really good at shuffling. They're like having a hard time shuffling.
And they
Anyway,
just kept shuffling.
this is your card, and I'm going to have to shuffle this more
they're
now,
like,
but it'll get lost if I
and
shuffle
then
it.
Then they lose the card for like a while, and they're like, and then
I showed you your card already. We're good.
And like you got it, it's fine. But also this, oh God, it's just so much.
Joke's on you. I showed your card at the very beginning, and that was when I saw. Oh, you saw it.
There's also a scene. So the woman, who I guess we're gonna call her Gloves. It'll make sense in scene 5. But so episode 5, whatever. So I wish Neil LaBute was writing in play. God, Fat Pig is really problematic, but also it's very well written. Also, can I bring this up real quick?
Neil LaBute, by the way, who was one of the who's the showrunner. That's what happened though. Is what I think is because the other guy wrote 7 of the episodes.
Yeah.
Or not. He was a writer. He was credited as a writer in all of the
Creator,
episodes.
yeah.
But not just creator, but credited as a writer on all 7 episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or no, wait, hold on. I might be wrong. I think it's 4. No, 7 episodes. He's credited.
$100 and I might care.
But the point being is that I think what happened is they saw this and went, we need to get someone else in here to like run this.
What if his version was very good?
And Neil LaBute fucked it up?
LaBute's not a sci-fi guy.
I mean, here's the thing: Neil LaBute is the one who fucked up Wicker Man.
Wait, did he? Hold on. I know, like, he made Wicker Man, but
He made the remake of Wicker Man. The
Yeah.
bees. That's Neil fucking Butte. Also, he wrote Pig, like Fat Pig, and Fat Pig is like good. It's very problematic. Also, he wrote Bash, and I legitimately love Bash. You can watch the entirety of Bash on YouTube right now. Get it before it gets taken down.
he also wrote In the Company of Men, which is probably his biggest.
Yeah, In the Company of Men, which is also really good, but I like Bash a little bit better. I love fucking 3 big monologues. That's the thing I love. And also Paul Rudd does his Bash, and it's it's like chilling. Paul Rudd does a part you wish Paul Rudd would do now 15 years ago.
Okay.
Ant-Man?
Yeah. No, not even. Never Ant-Man. So the lady throws a book in the ocean, and then a dude goes, and then they all go swimming, and then a shark eats a man.
I watched this with my sister, and as soon as the guy went, "Let's go swimming," she said he's going to be eaten by a shark. That's how predictable this show is. And here's the other thing. After he gets eaten by the shark, one of the guys goes, "He was eaten by a shark or something." They saw shark fins.
Yeah, well, they know it was a shark because the other lady was out in the water and she was like, shark.
Yeah. And then it was a shark or something. That guy definitely denied the pandemic. There's not enough research out there. I don't know. We don't know what it is.
So then they're all just chilling on the island, and the guy Brody was the dude.
Which dude is he? Is he Neil LaBute?
The assaulter.
Yeah, Neil LaBute.
Yeah. So that guy, man, that actually might be alligator. That might be.
Yeah, I think you and I need to say that we don't approve Brandon's.
Yeah. These are not the views of Bottle episode officially.
Certified.
Brandon, if you'd like to double down, but say that the litigation is only directed at you.
No. I'll say what I want to say about Neil LaBute. I'll say it right now. Neil LaBute is a brilliant writer, but also if he got out of his own head and like also realized like you can only pretend to be a shitty man, you're just gonna be a shitty dude. You can't pretend to be a shitty dude if you're a dude. You're just a shitty dude, Neil. Like fucking up your game, dog. I said it.
Yeah.
Fucking, I meant it.
This is embarrassing for Neil.
Yeah, fucking, I'm putting Neil on blast, dude. Put that picture up. Like, also, like you can't, Neil. I'm talking to you right now, like man to man. You don't know how to fucking do genre. Everyone, you can do like straight play, you can do straight work, but every time you go into genre, this Wicker Man, it sucks. Like you're really bad at genre. Stay the fuck away from it. Some people are good at it. Go home.
Yeah, I'd like to see Woody Allen try genre.
I like to see Woody Allen try jail. Anyway, next thing. Certified lover boy. Certified
we got it.
Woody Allen. On my tombstone, I wanted to say certified lover boy, certified Woody Allen. Goddamn. Fuck that guy. I don't care how good it is. Fuck your clarinet.
I don't know why, but I felt certain you were going to say Claritin. I was like,
but
what?
Also, I love the idea that people are sticking by Woody Allen for the clarinet.
Yeah.
That's such a good clarinet player.
Listen, I like two things: Woody Allen's clarinet and Steve Martin's banjo. I don't like anything else.
You know what? Steve Martin, I got nothing but love for you, Steve.
No, but who likes him for the banjo?
I liked the banjo album. He has a song called "I'm Walking Away." That I quote sometimes when I'm mad at somebody, which is "I'm walking away just like dear Abby told me." It's a good song. He's a good banjo player.
That's what I know.
Yeah, he puts out good music.
Anyway, the rest of this episode.
So they're chilling.
Fucking fuck you, Neil LaBute.
So they're chilling by the like by the front of the island, I guess, the beach.
Yeah, and then the assaulter guy comes back. He's like, "I found some stuff. I'm a cool guy, right?"
Yeah. I'm cool. And then he defends the woman he tried to attack. He's like, actually, she's doing a lot of important work out there.
Oh, I think she's just like tired though.
Yeah.
She's like, it's pretty crazy out there.
We went back separately.
I think she shouldn't go in the water because I think she might be on her period or something.
That would attract sharks.
Yeah.
Or something.
I don't know if that's actually true.
No,
that's something
exactly.
he would say.
Of course.
That's something
so
Neil
then
LaBute would
she
say.
comes back, plays it cool for like a minute and a half, and then is like, by the way, that dude assaulted me.
No, she just, before she says that, she just starts punching him.
Oh, right.
That is awesome.
Full on Jerry Springer moment.
She plays it cool, though, for like a minute, right?
Yeah.
There's like
it's one of those things you have to pretend you're being cool so you can get close to him and get your jack shot in. You know what I mean?
She doesn't play it in a way that helps her case.
No, not even a little bit.
I mean, she should have killed him.
Well,
I think they do in like episode 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Hell
episode 2
yeah.
kills him. Yeah, and it's not. They blame her, and then she fights everybody. She fights everybody.
Yeah.
They beat her eventually because she's able to take a bunch of them out.
Yeah.
But she gets knocked out so hard she gets pulled out of the VR, and that's how they explain it.
Hey, I just want you to know, Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know a fun fact about me?
You don't give a shit.
I watched episode 1. I watched episode 5.
By the way, Neil
You
LaBute
can't make
did
me
write the first
care.
episode.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Like, thing is, like, you should be brilliant. You were the chosen one. Listen, I have the same thing I say towards Mamet, but like Mamet still like is fucking like you can't. Sexual perversity in Chicago is amazing. I bring nothing but heat to this podcast, and you both fucking know it. But like the thing is, like Mamet doesn't. He went to films, and he's not as good. Like Mamet put out a movie about karate and magic, and it's still fucking boring. I don't know what to tell you. But
Which movie?
Red Belt.
Never heard of it.
Tim Allen's in it.
You've brought it up before on the pod.
I bet I have. I bring up Red Belt
Yeah.
constantly.
That's funny.
because David Mamet is one of the most important American writers of the last 50 years, and he made a movie about magic
Starring
and
Tim Allen.
karate starring Tim Allen.
Okay, so
That was the joke we did last time. I was like, Tim Allen's noises all sound like kung fu noises anyway.
That was a good joke.
Thanks. Yeah, I remember telling it and getting a big laugh at the time. I didn't really give it the same effort this time because I already got a laugh on
No,
it.
now it's a running gag.
okay,
I guess
guys,
it's a running gag, but not really. If I'm saying, remember when I made that joke?
I'm gonna say this is more like a running in place gag. It's not really going
Boo.
anywhere.
No, thank you. Not good.
Okay, so then Chase goes off because they kind of believe her, but they kind of like, wow, you're really getting crazy.
People
right?
don't seem to care either way.
Well, because she's not explaining herself well either.
Yeah.
She's just like, this guy fucking tried to. He's like, why would I do that and then come back here normally? Like,
Yeah, he really hits her with, bro, come on.
yeah.
And everyone's like, that makes sense to me.
They're like, this seems complicated. It's 2019.
Yeah.
The Me Too movement's already happened once. We don't need to do this again. And so she storms off and then runs into the guy who was attacked by a shark.
Yeah, he's fine.
Ish.
He seems
He has some cuts on his leg.
for like there's a shot of that man getting eaten by a shark, and he is. And I understand. I'm a 37-year-old white dude, but the only way I can describe what I saw is that man is yeeted off the screen by that shark. There is no other word to explain what happened than he is yeeted as hard as that shark can. Like that shark ate that guy. He was
Yeah,
eaten
it was
by
like
that
he
shark,
was-
and then like I expected.
Well, because
like,
the shark is not actually a shark. It's like a defense
Digital.
built into the VR
Yeah.
to send you back to the island.
you cannot prove that to me.
But that's
I will
exactly.
not watch more of this show.
Well, so that's.
You don't need to.
I will
We're
not.
not making you.
I do like, though, much like episode 4, when we told him it was a simulation, when Chase told everybody it's a simulation, they didn't believe her either.
I actually don't believe that.
Yeah, she's just the
I think
least.
you're lying. I think it's a
She's the
made-up
least
thing.
convincing person of all time.
I think it's-
Every time she tells someone something like, "Dude, chill."
Yeah.
I don't think it's a simulation. I think you actually are tricking me. I will not be doing any research. I have my own opinion on what this show is, and that is it's not a simulation. Instead, they're all on an island, and this is purgatory.
Wow, that's a good idea for a show. Have you ever thought about pitching that?
There's a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
So then they're like, we realize we're all exactly 39 steps apart, which
And someone goes, "Isn't that a movie?" And I nearly shut it off. I was like, "David, we're doing a different show." But
and then
Theo wrote this. Theo, what the fuck, dude?
and
I
they-
have not seen the 39 Steps in a long time, but I don't think it has any relation to this story.
Also,
At all.
don't bring up a Hitchcock film. I'd rather be watching a Hitchcock film. Don't bring up a thing I'd rather be watching. Hard reference.
it's like when a comic wears a Bill Murray shirt, and you're like, well, now I'm just thinking about a comic I'd rather see.
Yeah,
than
Yeah,
absolutely.
what
we've
you're
been meaning
doing.
to tell you to stop wearing that shirt.
It is a weird thing you
It's
do.
really
Dave.
distracting people.
Yeah, I wear a Mark Maron shirt for the podcast at all
Yeah.
times.
Oh, I saw him. He's doing good.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Did you
things
guys
had
catch
fallen
up?
off a cliff for Mark Maron.
Did you guys catch up or like
No, he did yell at me for laughing though. It's just Mark.
again?
That's
no,
his.
that happened.
Oh,
no.
okay. I knew it happened once.
It did happen once. Mark Maron did yell at me for. No, it happened twice actually.
Were
Mark
you
Maron-
laughing at a show?
Yeah. No, I just laugh like an asshole. I just have a bad laugh. Also, he has a new closer right now that's about Taylor Swift. It's amazing. I hope he still gets to keep it. Anyway, this show sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, they're like, all of us. We woke up 39 steps apart. I counted it.
Yep.
And then they're like, so if you multiply the number of us by 39 and walk that number of steps, you gotta see this.
mhm.
And then they get to a sign, and the sign says, "Find your way back." And I'd say about 7 of the 10 people are like, It's probably nothing.
Yeah, and then
Which is
Chase is like, I think it's a clue.
So at the start of the episode, my thoughts were one of three things. They were either in like this was a prison thing, this was hell, or this was heaven, or something. Those
Yeah,
are the
like a
only two thoughts I
purgatory.
had. But when I saw the sign, I was like, there is a non-zero chance that they're in an escape room. And this is like the most high-tech escape room of all time, and they got their memories wiped before they went into the escape room.
Because that's how that would be great.
That would be an amazing show. It's like it's just a bunch of people in an escape room, but they're like the best. Okay, I realize I'm talking about a movie that doesn't exist, but it's Escape Room 3. Which Jesus Christ, the Escape Room duology is pretty good.
Yeah, they're not good movies, but I enjoy them.
The first one is
You love anything escape room
I
based.
do love escape rooms.
But like the first one, actually, I would argue is pretty good, and the second one, the first one was good enough. I saw the second one on purpose. The first one I saw on accident, and the second one I saw on purpose.
Yeah, that's good.
And
Okay.
like it's good. You should see.
But
the
we could
Escape
do
Room
it.
movie.
We could make a third one where it seems like people are dying in it, but it turns out it's all a VR game.
Well,
and
the
they've
problem
all-
is with this one is they ask the question, "What if an escape room, but it killed you?" Right? But it would be cool if like this one you didn't realize you were like you. It would have to be like a secret thing. But like if you got a move, if it was like all these people show up on an island, they don't know why they're there. And they're trying to figure it out, and they're not so combative. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is interesting," and then slowly you realize these are all the best escape room players of the world,
yeah.
and they all agreed to have their minds wiped so that they could play the hardest game of escape room. Like that's something that sounds fun.
that sounds interesting, and like
Yeah.
they're able to solve these puzzles, and they have no idea how.
Yeah,
at
and,
first,
like-
yeah.
Oh yeah, and like, and they keep like coming across, and they're like, "Do we know each other? Do we know this?" And like, they're having like flashbacks of their life, and their life is like not sad, but like something where they're like they have a reason that they're fighting for this. Like that's something I would watch. Also, I am vaguely describing Cube. This is like Cube for idiots, and Cube is for idiots. It's an idiot movie. It's an idiot TV
I'm
show.
going to do
for
one better.
idiots.
This is Cube 3 Hypercube for idiots.
God damn it! I love that reference so fucking. That is for one person ever, and
And it's
he's-
you.
But it's amazing because he's sitting in the room.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Also, check us all out on Instagram, DPIC Comedy, Daniel F. Crow, and Brandon Gorin. Also, check out my comedy special, Goblin King. I'm posting clips on stuff. You can check it out there. Lit Grandma 69. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Back to the episode.
Well, let's get to episode 2, Dave. So
Yeah.
they come across this thing. It says find something, and they're like, "Who even cares?" Which is wild because it also means that people were definitely here.
Well, no, it's
But
just,
also, like,
it's just a video game, so it's literally like they
I
just
don't know this, David.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that part. I will never watch that part.
but when you're writing your pilot and you want people to watch the next episode, can you imagine writing down the last thing? Who cares? Like, you want people to keep watching.
It's
And you just end on something being like, it's not even a big deal. Who boring.
I'm gonna be honest. I was much more forgiving of this show when I thought it. I misread originally that it was 2019. I thought it took place in 2009. I thought that's when it was made, and I was like, they're making a lot of mistakes that I see 2009 TV make. And then I was like, no, they're still making it. They're still doing it. It's still wrong.
We forgot one thing at the end. She's so mad when everyone's like, this sign is boring
Oh,
and
yeah.
for babies, that she throws the conch shell in anger. And it breaks, and you see property of the I-land.
Do you think maybe this show was for the other guy who has no other stuff, not Neil Abute,
The creator.
Alex something.
Alex, whatever, not Neil Abute? Do you think he was like somebody's like cousin? Do you know what I mean? Like he was like
No,
someone.
I think what's possible, but there was just so much demand for content that stuff that would have never been made before got made.
And they're like, we'll assign Neil Butte to it to like.
he
Yeah.
can fix this. He wrote Fat Pig. He can fix it.
Oh,
Which, why not just have him make something from scratch?
Wait, before we finish this episode, I have to talk about probably because the essay seed is not the worst seed of this episode.
I mean, it's rough. It is.
It is.
It makes it not fun.
The apology.
Oh, yeah.
The apology, we have to talk about the apology.
I
It
fucking-
might be the worst moment in the entire series.
I hate it.
Hey, bro, I just want to say, like, everybody, we're having a meeting. You can come if you want. Also,
No,
like,
no. Wait. there's a step before that. He goes, "Hey, I just wanted to say sorry," and she's like, "For the assault or
just for, like-
pretending
for,
the
like,
assault."
all of it, dude.
Yeah, because pretending the assault didn't happen. And he's like, the whole thing, I guess. And then he invites her to be like, "Hey, you should come support me to be leader of this island."
I need your vote, and that's what he says. I need your vote, and she goes, "For what?" He's like, "I don't know. I just think at some point they're gonna be like, we should vote on it." That's
and then
And she goes, "No," and he goes, "Well, then fine, fuck you. I didn't need you anyway. By the way, what I did."
this is there should be death is not enough for this sentence. Like it is one of the wildest. Like Jesus Christ. Like yeah, dude. Why do women pick the bear every time? I can tell you with this what
It's yeah. So the sentence the man says to this woman is, "By the way, I didn't try and rape you." To which she's like, "Hold on, you did just apologize for that." And he goes, No, you don't get it. Out here, there's just sex or no sex. There's no rules."
Can I ask you to imagine this whole preceding scene, but that guy swapped out with Patrick Warburton, and it's actually like really funny.
Hey, there's no such thing as no sex.
Yeah.
There's just sex or no sex. There's no such thing as rape. I'm Patrick. This is a war.
Yeah. But he's also just like, I might need your vote. I don't know.
Also, I need your
like,
vote. Also, I need your vote.
I understand that they're making this guy despicable.
It's despicable to the point that you're like, no one is actually like that.
Like
This is not believable.
You
Evil people don't think they're evil.
you can make a character say that on a desert island, day 100, right? Like I don't agree with it, but if
Day 100, you start like the idea of like a what's the famous island that flies Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies,
like
yeah.
where Law and Order starts breaking down. And he goes, "Yeah, rape is just a law we made up,
Yeah,
or something."
yes.
And then you have a guy who mentally break down. Which,
Yeah.
sure, same with murder.
Yeah.
They're all laws we made up.
So it feels like they were trying to do a Lord of the Flies thing, but they were doing it the second the plane crashed.
Yeah, that guy should have stripped off his clothes and murdered someone immediately, but like, no rules.
The plane crashed. Piggy is like, I'm holding the conch, and they killed him like day one. Like there was no.
It's like passing the Patriot Act before the towers fall.
Yeah, like it's just one of those like it can't.
That was an assault on the American people.
I'm not saying Neil Abute agrees with that sentence. I am saying Neil Abute wrote that sentence though, and I am saying it can't be a sentence a character says. Day
Episode 1.
We still have food. There is a character that is actively sunbathing. This can't all be happening at the same time. What
that character, by the way, hooks up with another character.
What, the sunbathing character?
No, the dude, the assault dude.
God, fucking Jesus Christ, Neil, come on the pod.
Neil was ready to be like, maybe I'll play this character.
Neil, I have a lot of respect. Neil, you and Amos need to come on the pod. Neil might. Will you have a shot to get Neil Abute? He's not doing great. He wrote the remake of Wicker Man. He wrote Bees. That's what he wrote. Oh no, not the bees.
Neil, come on, defend the show.
Yeah, Neil.
Honestly,
I will.
let's do it.
You know what, Neil? You
Or
and me.
put Neil in a VR prison
There
to
you
atone
go.
for his crimes.
It's a script writing. He just has to go through different video games that have like narrative, cohesive
know-
narrative.
Yeah,
stories.
Ready Player One. Put him in Ready Player One.
You know, I played the man in Bash, not the one who is married. The one.
I don't know what Bash is
No,
about.
let me finish. I don't care. I'm not talking to you, Dave. I'm talking to Neil.
Okay.
And that was I did this huge monologue from Neil Abute, and it's the only time my dad said I was a good actor. It's the only time it's ever. He was like, "You
Really?
Yeah, it's the only
You mean
time.
it's the only time your dad ever lied to you?
Fuck off. No, I fucking nailed that part. That was the only time I was like, I fucking nailed that. I nailed it to a wall. I could do that part with training in 2 months. But it's the only time my father looked at me and went, "You did a good job." And then he fucking wrote this. Fuck you, Neil. How dare you? Come on the pod. Defend yourself.
I mean,
Can you give Neil your email address right now so he can reach out to you?
And stop that. Stop trying. Stop trying.
Can you give
to
Neil
get me
your
doxxed.
social security number?
Stop getting me doxxed.
Address?
I mean,
So in episode 5.
yeah, let's move on to 5. So in episode 5,
Can I just actually, before we move on to episode 5, I want to say one thing.
yeah.
I watched episode 1.
Uh-huh.
I navigated out to switch to episode 5. I gave it thumbs down on Netflix. I went right to episode 5. Because I need to let Netflix know, hey man, I don't want to be watching this.
So it doesn't add.
I did Netflix to know I'm watching this for work.
Yeah.
Listen, there is not, the island is not getting a big pop. I'm watching it
I'll
for
be
work.
honest with you right now. There are other things that, like, you told me just watch it on Netflix, and I'll be like, I'm not doing that to my account. And then I had no trouble finding places to watch them, in an illegal stream. Couldn't find one for this.
The island was tougher.
Yeah, no one bothered to pirate this show. No one cared.
Also,
How is this show not delisted?
it's because it has like 19,000 reviews on IMDb.
That's actually not that much.
It's for a lot of the shows we watch.
Okay, so here's the thing. I also think that The Island is a show that's wild because it's a show that's pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Like just barely. But can you note that like someone had to watch The Island and then like a year later had to go into lockdown.
Less than a year.
Less
This
than
was
a year
September.
later had to go
Some
in.
people watched it during lockdown for comfort.
I
Yeah.
feel that this feels like a lockdown show in the fact that it's bad and you're like, fuck this. I'm not watching this tomorrow. And then you know what? You watch it tomorrow.
Here's the thing: is honestly, if I had known about this show at the beginning of the pandemic, I could see myself watching
Oh,
all of
absolutely.
this.
I could like the
Especially the end of the 5th episode. Like honestly, that made me want to watch more.
yeah.
in a way.
It's not good, but I could watch it to the end. I bet this was a pandemic. I bet like this came up like after you finished Tiger King. This was a real like post Tiger King.
I guess so. I mean,
'Cause-
yeah, it's the same level of acting. for sure.
Like you're like, hey, you watch Tiger King. You want to watch some other dumb bullshit that is bad?
So the 5th episode is mostly it's them-
all flashback.
It's all flat. It's like they're taking and that's why it's so weird to watch it, because that's the other thing that made me think it was just like a full Lost.
yeah.
Because they're doing all the flashbacks together, and like they're not cohesive. They're just like, by the way, this is why they're bad.
By the way, the flashbacks, they also have given all of the characters that we barely know, like, bad wigs and stuff. And you're watching like, who is this?
Yeah, it did take me time to remember.
There's one time
to
where
figure out who everybody.
I didn't realize until like after 3 flashbacks who it's supposed to be. Because he was like, I'm going to blow up the pipeline. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Because they gave him a long wig. I'm like, is this?
Why is this which
Because
one?
there's 2 plot lines going on. There's one where Kate Bosworth is cheating on her husband
Yeah.
with this one guy.
Well, no, because
And I thought it was that guy. I thought it was the
Yeah,
guy she was cheating with.
it does seem like
It's a different guy.
No,
it's
I
one of the
know.
guys from the island.
Wait, is he the guy she's cheating on?
No.
Oh,
They
no,
just
that-
look too similar.
Also,
Right,
I don't know
yes.
if they're married. That dude sucked. Also, eggs aren't that expensive.
That was
That's how broke
okay.
they are.
So,
Like, now they are. Now I would understand.
but so they flash back to her taking care of her kids, and she has 2 boys, and they're demanding eggs.
Well, actually, for what we skipped, it's pretty jarring because it opens with one woman, and she's a nurse, and she's
Oh yeah,
she's euthanizing people.
that's
Well,
right.
no, she's doing the Dr. Death thing. She's Dr. Death.
She's euthanizing them.
She's
Like,
not just euthanized. Euthanized is
yeah,
like
against without their consent.
yeah, that's murder.
Technically.
that is. Murder.
I've never heard this word before.
Well, no, but technically it was because in the it's that they have DNRs.
Okay, I want you to look at me.
I think that's in the episode.
Is that in the episode?
I think that's
No.
no the DNR thing.
Oh,
no,
I love
okay.
it so much,
No.
dude. If it doesn't happen in these 2 episodes,
It
does
was
not
so
exist
funny
for
to
me.
just be like, oh, okay, that's why she's on this island.
Yeah,
For
because
murder.
everyone on this island between the few episodes we learned that they're there because they all murdered someone, so now they're on this weird VR island to determine if it's nature or nurture, if they can be better or whatever, blah 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 blah.
yeah.
Yet,
A couple
I wanna
characters are
repeat,
dead
I do
by
not
this
know
point.
It's VR. I will never know it's VR.
A couple characters are dead by this point. If you die in the VR, you die in real life.
Yes.
Not VR.
They
to me.
made up that rule. No other movie has ever done that. No movie, no show.
Otherwise, how would you have stakes? Although,
Yeah.
honestly, if you die in there, they take you out of the program. and put you back in prison is still effective stakes.
That's actually better. That's more interesting stakes to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the fact that like maybe there's a part of your brain that could keep you out of jail, and you can't control that part of your brain. That's a terrifying and interesting question.
Like you go to prison for life after that because you were already going to go to prison for life.
There was a part of Neil LaBute's brain that could have kept him out of director's jail, but he couldn't hold it in check. So then he had to make this show.
He was like, this is a great opportunity to work with Netflix.
Yeah.
Certified lover boy, certified Neil LaBute.
See, once again, Neil LaBute, we don't think anything particularly bad about you. We think you made a mistake with this one.
I want you to come on
I
the
think
pod.
you're the second best Neil director I know of after Breen.
Neil Simon?
Neil Breen.
What about Neil Simon?
I'm doing a joke comparing him to Neil Breen.
What about Neil Simon?
Okay, you know how Neil Breen is really bad at making movies?
But Neil Simon.
So I was insulting
is
Neil.
good.
I was
and also
insulting
Neil Simon
LaBute.
wrote plays.
I was insulting Neil LaBute.
Guys,
This wasn't intended to be real.
This is our own island now.
The iDash. Thank you very much.
The iPod. Has anyone never done that?
It's a good idea.
So we're this is the episode that everyone loves.
Top rated.
So the second episode in this one had the same rating. I always choose the later one at that point.
Yeah, that's a good call. I love that this is a flashback episode. I also love the fact that the way they fuck it. This is like the last thing that you can do where like by indicating flashbacks, it looks like everything is a little more pastel and maybe like it just looks like shit. This whole episode looks like shit.
They're doing the weird. It's the Lost thing, but with like no skill set around it. So it's just this gradient past. And because it's everybody.
And somehow Kate Bosworth's accent has gotten worse.
I actually kind of have to disagree because I don't think it's good. I think it's very, very bad. But I did go, oh, she's from the South because she was wearing a hat.
She was
doesn't make the accent better.
So yeah, her and she's talking with she's like interacting with a asshole cowboy.
Yep.
He's like, and she's like, how come assholes are the only ones who ever talk to me? He's like, they're the only one. Plenty of guys want to talk to you.
Oh no, she's dealing with the hot cowboy.
Yeah, he's but he's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, not really.
He's nice. He is sad when he's trying to fuck her, and then he feels sad when she got abused. That's about the character traits we have for this guy.
Yeah, does he know she got abused?
Yeah, well, she fell, but clearly got hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he covers for her and then is like, tough fall. And she's like, I did fall. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they end up fucking, and then she ends up killing her kids.
Yeah. But let's.
There were some steps in between.
Yeah. Because they're very important steps. Because that is the biggest problem with this show is that none of the characters' actions the entire time are believable. And from moment one, you're just like, no one acts or talks like this or behaves like this at all.
Eggs.
I need to tell everyone right now that Brandon has fully lied down on the ground.
He's laying
the show
on the
has
ground.
defeated him to such a point. He is okay. He's back up.
I'm back up. I lied down, but I made a point that I was actively smiling so that hopefully people could hear it in my recording. I want them to have a good time when they listen.
So
you bring the heater on. That's what you get.
She's like getting abused by her husband because he just. She says to him. She goes, "Well, maybe if you got a job, we could afford eggs." Because also eggs and cereal are not different enough priced.
The thing is, you can use cereal over the course of several days.
And eggs are just a dozen eggs. How many eggs are those kids eating?
Those kids are absolute egg fiends.
Also, what kids love eggs?
Neil LaBute's kids.
That really did bug me. I was like, what are these kids? What kids scream for eggs over sugary cereal?
Over sugar,
They're trying to get gains, dude.
Over high fructose. Holy shit! Shoot me into the sun.
The dad wants eggs. She goes, maybe if you got a job, we could get some fucking eggs. And the guy, the abusive partner, is just like, oh, well, now I'm gonna really make you regret saying that.
I felt so bad for the actor because he's got a great abusive partner face. And he's going to keep getting cast in this role.
He did a good job being a piece of shit on that.
He did nail being a piece of shit.
Like, it was one of those things, like, I don't want to be like, oh, no one ever acts that way. Like, there are people who are in incredibly shitty situations, and I want to be respectful towards that. And, like, He was the best actor, and he did a pretty good job being a piece of shit. And unfortunately, he's not on the island. Also, maybe
He didn't murder anybody.
Yeah.
What if he did murder someone, and then he puts on the island, and then he has to slowly realize that his wife who killed his kids, did she kill those kids?
Yeah, that's why she's on the island.
So then Ryan Dorsey, by the way, is the name of the guy.
Hey, you did a good job, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm putting your name forward for the next Bond.
Hey, Ryan, come on the pod.
He was on 10 episodes of Justified. That's great. I
Oh,
love
fuck
that.
yeah. I hate that show.
He probably was playing a real piece of shit on
Yeah,
it.
no,
that
that-
show is full of pieces of shit.
That show's weird propaganda. Anyway,
Sort of.
no, it just is.
No, well,
No,
they
don't argue right now.
Okay, but
Don't argue in the island.
he
episode.
doesn't do well. Like
He does so well. The
Raylan
whole
Gibbons is
thing
not a good
that
guy.
He's always fucking right. He's like Batman.
No, he's not. Anyway,
Okay, well then they fix it later in the seasons, but right now, like the first 3 seasons I watched, he's so right so often. Anyway, he's a criminal. Anyway, weird propaganda.
yeah. So Ryan Dorsey, he's playing this abusive piece of shit. And then on top of that, she then at some other point, so she starts having an affair with the guy because he's like, well, you're being abused. So like,
He also is upfront with her that he has to leave for Chicago at some point.
'Cause
Yes.
his parents
And then
were
when
dead
she
or
leaves for
whatever.
Chicago, she's like, this is not fair.
yeah, she's gonna leave for Chicago too.
Yeah.
And then abusive husband takes it to that next level where he grabs her by the neck and starts drowning her.
And I will say that was a moment where I was like, that does happen. That sucks. This is powerful for me. You know what I mean? Like I had a moment where I was like,
And then she immediately kills her kids in response.
that is true.
And you kind of lose like, the goodwill you had for her.
Yeah,
But-
because that is the thing. It's like, oh, this is like an intense. She's gonna kill the husband.
Yeah, which would make sense. Then she's on the island because they just thought it was murder. They didn't know it was self-defense. She's there in injustice.
She's trying to get back to her kids.
Yeah, but instead she kills her kids.
She gives them drugs
I don't know. They're sleeping in the back seat. She
Yeah.
drives the car into the water.
and she drives the
But
car
then
to
she
the
goes
ocean.
back to her place to stab herself rather than just going into the water with the kids.
Question: does she Uber to the house?
Oh, I hope she gave him 5 stars.
So here's the thing that is.
Wow, hey, you look pretty wet. I don't know if I can let you in my car.
So here's the thing that's really weird, and I don't. So Neil LaBute
Yes.
wrote Blasted, which is 3 long monologues
Yes.
that aren't connected,
Okay.
but kind of are, but aren't. And one of them is literally this. Like he keeps telling stories about women just randomly killing their kids to get back at the people who hurt them. This is the second time he told that story
That you know of.
that I know of. Like
He tells it at parties.
like he just keeps bringing it up. Like,
This is his G. Gordon Liddy candle story.
It's wild. Like the second that happened, and I knew it was Neil LaBute, and I was like, "Fuck, he's doing this again!" Like that's like his go-to move. I was like,
It's one of the most irredeemable things you can do to a character
Yeah.
who started off being like, well, I have a knife.
Yeah, there was a lot of sympathy being built up over this episode for her. And then at the end of it, you're like, well, let her die.
Yeah, I don't.
well, that's the thing is, like, I feel like if you put it at the end of it, if you put it at the very end, and you're sort of left to be like, oh, Jesus Christ, I have to feel, I have to deal with like what that means. That's something. But if I have 2 more episodes to deal with sci-fi nonsense, that doesn't work, Neil. You can't. This is not an episode 5 reveal.
For 2 episodes left, but for a character that has been, frankly, very unsympathetic.
Yes, who I do not like.
There's nothing complicated after I watch that episode. I go, oh, she's awful.
Yes. And then you're like, oh, here's the moment where I'll understand why she's awful. Oh,
No, that's what I mean. But after
she's awful.
that happens,
And other people are given pretty sympathetic backstories.
Yes.
One woman was trying to rob a bank and accidentally killed her partner.
Yep.
yeah,
One guy is trying to blow up a pipeline because of an evil oil company. Some people die in the process. Most of the stories are sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And then hers just killed my kids.
yeah, just
Kill the husband, and it's a sympathetic story.
Yes.
it's almost like I wonder if they were like, and then he kills the husband. Like, wait, too obvious.
No.
Everybody's killing the husband.
Neil LaBute. It's the Neil. I feel like the first writer killed the husband.
And Neil was like, too obvious.
and
You got to
Neil-
kill them kids.
And Neil was like, yo, I got a thing I like to do. Watch this.
Yo, I got a thing I like to do. We've totally forgot about Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, they just live on the island. They're like
They're
rangers.
deputies.
Yeah, they are like they tell people what they can't do on the island.
Yeah.
At the start of the episode, there's one of the women. She gets on a raft. She's like, "I'm getting out of here," and then someone's like, "Yeah, they told you don't do that."
The lounge woman. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, I'm doing it."
And she's taking their only raft.
yeah,
No food, no water, by the way.
she doesn't get very far.
No,
She immediately crash lands on a nearby island.
she crash lands on Island 2. They call it Island 2. Go fuck yourself.
By the way, I was gonna. This is a big reveal for the end of the episode. Separately,
I want to end on this.
No,
The chicken soup.
no,
Well,
not
she-
that. No.
Okay.
No. By the way,
We're gonna- we're gonna
the show is called The Island, but in reality, it's called The One Land, and the second one is The Two Land. And so, if this show had been picked up for another season, we probably would have explored more of the lands, the islands that are one land and two land.
We live in a pretty
What if
rough-
Westworld but stupider?
Basically.
in 2019, The Island came out. In 2020, a pandemic swept the earth. I'm happy that I live in a world where that happened and The Island 3 didn't come out.
It
Like,
never would have been renewed.
No, what if there is a reality where it got renewed and the pandemic didn't happen, and I don't think it's worth it.
Oh man, just to have this be a Netflix hit that that drives you insane.
Like the pandemic doesn't happen, but The Island is a Netflix hit.
All right, let's speed through the rest of these backstories. The one, Chase, that lady, her backstory is she knows the other guy. She knows Cooper.
Why?
Somehow.
Wow.
That's basically most of her backstory this episode.
Yep. Boring.
Yep. And then, is there any other major backstories?
No, I said them all.
Yeah, let's just go to the island 2.
So this one woman who tried to steal the raft washes up on Island 2.
I guess it's two land.
She climbs up a mountain.
She's
she
not
is
Island 2. It's Two Land.
Destroyed. She is so beat up.
Yeah, she's far more beat up than she should be.
It's honestly, if you crash, because I thought she crashed the raft.
The raft is not like on the rocks or anything though. She would just swim to the rocks and climb it up. So
That's
presumably she got hurt on the climb.
Which can have jagged rocks are like rocks will fuck you up in the water
Yeah.
like that, like because you can't predict the tide, so it just the wave carries you into them. But like the amount of fucked up she is.
That means the VR has tide. I'm so sad.
But then
You don't know about the VR, Brandon. Keep your story straight.
You're right.
She climbs up to
I
the
live in a
top.
better world than you do.
She climbs to the top of the mountain.
She's exhausted.
She finds some berries. She eats them. She falls asleep.
Yep.
When she wakes up, there's a bandage on her hand and a bowl of chicken soup, which she readily eats.
Immediately.
And then Bonnie and Clyde show up and they're like, "Hey, bro, we told you not to leave the island. I can't believe you left the island." And she's like, "I'm here now." And they're like, "Fine. You can either come back to the island or you can stay on this island."
Well, because they threatened to kill anyone, and she's like, "Can I talk to your manager?
Yeah.
Can I talk to the island's manager?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, I want to." They also like Bonnie and Clyde go, "Hey, we're gonna kill you," and they go, "Can I talk to your manager?" And I'm like, "That's not this joke. Like,
Yeah.
that's not for this show."
But then they're like, you can either you can come back or you can stay on this island. But just to let you know, there's only one person that lives on this island, and they're a cannibal. Also, there are no chickens on this island. And then she unwraps her hand, and it's just bones, and she goes, "No!" And then credits.
That one scene made my faith in the show go up 1,000%. I was like, great, more of this.
It was like they were dumpster diving behind The Simpsons as they wrote Treehouse of Horror. And they were just stealing rejected pages.
It feels like
yeah, just Homer Simpson being like, there is no chickens on the island.
Yeah.
it's like if Stephen King do like one of his short stories and was like, I don't know, this one kind of feels like nothing. You know what? I'm just gonna cut it. And then someone like was like, oh no, this is good. There's not a lot of dirt on this.
Can I just
There's
say,
like no dirt on this.
if someone cut my fingers off, even if they put bandages over it, I would notice.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to take the bandages off for me to notice. Also, I'd be slightly less horrified if my cannibalism was myself.
I don't know.
I'd rather
Interesting.
eat my own fingers than someone else's.
I think somewhere around, I'd be like, wow, this chicken soup tastes a lot like pork. I think that because
I also
we don't taste like chicken.
What a weird prank.
How do you know?
Because I've done my research.
Because
All right.
we're herbivores. No, we're omnivores, and the amount of flesh we eat would have affected it.
Very cool. Thank you.
That's a thing I just kind of
So
understand.
vegans taste different.
Vegans
Yeah,
taste like chicken?
I should taste different than you. Yeah.
Good to know. All right, guys, we're all cutting off a finger tonight.
That's not the same.
It's a fried finger fricassee. Okay, guys, what will we change about this show?
Spell it normal.
The one land, but spell it
I'd rather.
O-N-E.
I'm curious.
It's called Island, David. The fucking you can't fuck off. It's either Island or not.
So it's the second because she finds on that island there's a skull that says property of the two land.
Yeah, I don't care. It's still called Island.
Yeah.
The real answer is, I bet this guy's original script, in order to get it to the point where Netflix considered it, it's probably not bad. Like, to make it through all of those gate checks before Neil LaBute got his hands on it.
I don't want to blame Neil on this.
I truly well. So what's interesting though is that guy is not credited. He's accredited as the writer on all 7 episodes, but on Wikipedia he's not credited as the writer on any of the episodes.
I think
Neil-
it's just a creator credit.
Neil, I want you to come on the pod.
You think it's just like he got the 7? He did the pilot.
He created it, and then they were like, "This has a lot of potential," and then they morphed it into something else altogether.
Yeah, I can't find anything about
But
him.
it can't be terrible if it got all the way to Netflix, and then LaBute probably just messed with it.
I mean, or who does someone know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right, what do you want to recommend?
Oh gosh, what do I want to recommend? Hannibal with Mads Mikkelsen.
That
It's a different cannibal show.
That if Mads Mikkelsen was in the 6th episode, I would have already seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon, how would you improve the show?
I think I would make it camp. I think I would make it silly.
I hate to tell you, it already is camp.
No, because it's like it.
There are no chickens on this island.
Like, what if it was fun? Like, everything we held. The thing is, like, everything we held on to was fun, but like most of the show isn't fun, and it's very self-serious. But like, what if it was like half? Like, also, like, I probably would make it. I would remove all the deeply. I would like take the essay out. I would take the murder out, and I would just make it like we're on an island and we have to solve a problem.
Yeah, I mean, well, so it's that weird middle ground thing that they're like, they have these weird gratuitous graphic things.
Yeah, I don't
surrounded by kind of nothing CBS TV.
Yeah, I would actually think I would prefer the CBS TV to the graphicness. You know what I mean? Like if you have the CBS TV, it's basically Lost, but basically Lost is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you want to recommend show-wise?
I want to recommend the new Myst game. They just redid Myst, and it looks fucking incredible.
There's an island puzzle you can really get behind.
There's
guys.
recommend a show, you coward.
It's an what?
You recommended a
recommend a
YouTube
show.
channel.
Those are shows. They're
Okay.
web series.
I feel like
Scrabble History is a web series.
I
Okay.
feel like
Brandon, have you seen
I feel like
Scrabble
I'm not
History?
being a coward. I'm being brave by giving something different to the audience. But yeah, I can give you something else if you need it. Tomes and Talisman.
Yeah.
Yeah, always
Check
watch
out
it.
Tomes and Talisman. There's going to be questions, and they're going to be answered, and it's not going to be gross.
Fun fact, that's a post-apocalyptic show with 0 sexual assaults.
There is no essay.
Now it's open to interpretation, but those guys are just hitting that train track with a stick for no reason.
Hey, wait, hold on for a second. I got to, Dave. If you need to cut this is okay. Okay.
Okay.
Just let me take it back right now. Take it back.
You haven't read the history of the Reapers.
Get out of my house.
Get out of his trailer.
No,
Take it back.
I'm the one that introduced you to TNT.
I love TNT like I love a child.
And frankly, I know drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, check out some of the Clear Sky dramas. Those are good.
So here's what I would improve about the show. I think the thing is either lead with that they're all murderers, because then their actions start making sense.
Okay.
Because if some of these people are actual sociopaths, then their actions can start to make more sense when they're taking these random actions. Or I think make it a bunch of different criminals. Make it a bunch of different criminals who don't remember their history. Because otherwise, it's just a bunch of
Oh, you
different
can put them
ways.
together as like a heist. They're going to break their way out of the VR.
Well, and then one of
That's
the
kinda
people's
fun.
one of them is a murderer, and that adds more tension than they're all murderers. Especially because they're all accidental murderers, which is like such a weird.
They're not all accidental.
No, they're not
She
all.
didn't mean- oh, we did forget one guy actually. He's that creep at the office, and he murders his coworker.
Oh
that
yeah.
dude sucks. Also, a thing that would be really cool, and I don't know how you would pull it off, is if you did a heist movie where it like they all lose their memories and are in a VR like thing and have to work their way out, but then you realize that they have trained to do that beforehand. Does that make sense?
That would be
Mhm.
cool.
Like that would be a cool that's the TV show I wanted. This is actually a heist thing, but like they're like we don't even know who we are, but they have to fight against not knowing who they are to finish this heist. That sounds cool as shit.
Okay. And yeah, that would be a much cooler. Yeah.
That's a move. That's a thing we all want.
But we are describing a completely different show at
I
that
don't
point.
even care. Make a better show, Neil.
All right.
Come on the pod.
And the show I'm going to recommend is A Friend of the Family, which is a cool show on Peacock that's like but it was written by, the important part is it's written by Lucy Teitler, who was one of the writers on this show, but it's a good show that she made.
Also,
With Jake Lacey, that's his name. Jake Lacey and Colin Hanks. And it's pretty fucked up. It's really fun. It's based off of the fucking that one true
Podcast
story.
or
The Broberg family.
okay.
And this guy who slowly invaded their life to try and sleep with their 12-year-old daughter.
gross.
Yeah. But he's a bad guy and never portrayed as anything but that.
Love that.
Unlike
Also-
Neil LaBute.
Yeah.